Welcome back to the Stanley Parable. We're just stepping through this newly discovered secret passageway. It's kind of back area, little elevator. Nothing back there, I guess. There you go. I assume that's what I need to do. Oh, a loading screen.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'll do that eventually. Yeah, flashlight.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
mind
thought
control?
to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Can't hit that again. It's closed. It's gonna close on me.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
fired.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
So what do we have? We have a elevator thing.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to
Fired
believe
one?
it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under
Pirate.
someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
No button.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
going
His
over there?
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Probably.
But here
Still
was the
can't jump.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold
Buttons.
reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Sounds good. Red area. Red button. Can't hit it. 5. Oh, actually, where is there a 1? There's a sequence or something probably. Power. Mind control idle. Awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
There we go.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
Mind
He had
control.
won. He had defeated the machine. unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
That's a
How
good
had he
question.
been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his
Freedom.
goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be
Very
his.
Irish.
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And that's another path complete, I suppose.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Okay.
No, the orders were still missing.
Okay.
For now.
What's going on here? Leaving their computers on. Oh, is there something I can do here? Oop, 420. Keep an eye out for those input computers.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep. Back here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
Quite.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Tried to force it down.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Of course.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Stop.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Lots of cigarettes. People hanging out. Oh, there's still that freight room and stuff.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
Two
revealed.
something.
Each bore the number of an employee in the
Looks like it's
building,
just normal, not
Stanley's
fired or
co-workers.
anything.
The
What's that?
lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Give it that
This
elevator.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really
Can't
been
be.
under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Turn the mind
His
control
own
on.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Maybe. Maybe we want mind control.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they
Oops.
kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent,
Okay.
Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Ooh.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode,
That's
eliminating
unfortunate.
the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your
Okay.
story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
See.
Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Try the sequence.
What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it,
All right,
I
so
simply
it's
let
like
you sit there
one
in your
red.
office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let
Is
it
that
burn
open?
to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go
Smooth and
around
green.
will be even better.
Wait, where's their green
My
button? They're all-
goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Really?
But I'm enjoying this so much. You know
Where's the
what?
green
To hell
button?
with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I just see
Oh,
press
dear
green
me,
button.
What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
I don't think
That
they
this
have those
video game
buttons.
can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Crazy.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
It says there's a
humble.
passcode.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to
Let's
struggle.
see.
30
Enable
seconds until a
backup
big
power to
boom
activate.
and then nothing. No
Backup
enemy,
power.
just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will
That's
you let it
backup
go
power.
peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second
Can't
of your
read this.
inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Oh. Guess that's that one, but there might be some complex sequence that does something, so I might come to that one far later. I would have to look something up. It's probably way too complicated.
All of his
But
co-workers were gone.
that's enough for
What
this
did it mean?
episode. So catch y'all
Stanley
next
decided
time.
to go to the meeting room.